We've made it to 200 videos. Me and you. 200 videos we've done. Isn't it fantastic? She thinks it's fantastic that we've done 200 videos. All right, little one. Go and have some fun. I've got to do this video thing. I'm going to need this tablet because I'm doing a tag. And so I've got to find the tag that I'm doing. So hold on 1 second. Oh, what a day. Hello, my friends. Hello, and welcome once again to stately Vaughan Manor. Okay, I'm all prepared now. So it is my 200th video. I already thought I was filming part of it. See, today was going to be an unboxing and this tag. And I did the whole unboxing and then realized that I was not filming. How have I even managed to make 200 videos? It's mind-boggling. I'm terrible at this. But somehow, despite that, I've made it to 200 videos. Who knows how this has happened? So instead of doing an unboxing, which would have been cooler, and it was actually cool, too bad I was just here talking to myself, unboxing, we will do a teensy little book haul of 3 books, actually. The first book came to me in the mail from Book Time with Ryan, and that would be this book, Carrion Comfort by Dan Simmons. I thought for a while that I had read this, but in fact I had read another Dan Simmons book and confused it with this one. But this one's supposed to be pretty good. That's what Ryan from Book Time with Ryan says. He sent me this little note along with the book. Michael, enjoy Carrion Comfort. And thank you for rescuing this copy. This is a favorite of mine, and the book is in rough shape because it's been loved. I read this every day on a metro train on my way to work in Washington, D.C., sometime between 2008 and 2011. I listened to the final 3 songs of a Muse album then to help block out my fellow commuters. And that has forever affected those 3 songs for me. I loved this book. I eventually bought a signed special edition, but I couldn't bear seeing this book just sitting on a shelf. Thank you for your email and pledge to forever honor this book. Can't wait to see what you think. Oh, the pressure I feel. Thanks, Ryan. Well, thank you, Ryan, for sending me this book to read. I'm going to read it probably in December. Actually, October, maybe November. Yeah, maybe November I could read this. October is looking a little packed. This month is hopeless. So yeah, I hope to read it then. I've got a couple other books here. Let me grab them. This one just came in the mail. And that is Stephen Graham Jones' My Heart is a Chainsaw. I've been hearing good things about this book. Been hearing good things about it, so I'm looking forward to reading that. And I also got this book in the mail, The Coffin Path by Catherine Clements. Now the reason I ordered this book is because the Bookish Report gave this book a good report. I've actually bought 3 books that I haven't read yet. I haven't read a single one. They're all in a line waiting to be read because I saw good reports from the Bookish Report. He has good taste in books, that fella. So, yeah, I've got a bunch of books to read from my watching Bookish Report. I will link his channel down below because he's awesome. So yeah, this is The Coffin Path by Catherine Clements. Look forward to getting to that. Okay, now it's time for the tag, because it is Tag Tuesday after all. And I remember when I did my 100th video, I did a super spectacular that was like 2 videos long. Today's is a little less spectacular. A little less spectacular today. But, you know, tags are fun, so let's do it. This is the Mookse and Gripes bucket list book tag that I'm doing today. I was tagged by the fantastic AJ Dunn. AJ Dunn is amazing. Everybody should watch AJ Dunn. So AJ tagged me in this, and this is basically a bucket list tag. It's basically This is a very simple tag. Simply tell us about 10 books on your bucket list. Books you want to read sometime before you shuffle off this mortal coil. In the fullness of time, but not necessarily anytime soon. Optional plot twist. Have your subscribers vote either in the comments section or in some kind of Google Docs poll or whatever on which 2 books from your bucket list you have to read by a certain date. Okay. I will say 2 books from my bucket list. Okay, you guys can vote in the comments for any 2 books of these books that you want me to read. And I will read them by, well, I'll start them by February of next year. I'll start one in January, and if I finish, I'll start the next one in February, depending on which book it might be. There's one book on this list which is kind of long, which is why it has remained on the bucket list as long as it has. So yeah, let's talk about those 2 books of mine that have been on my bucket list. One of them hasn't been there that long, but most of the others have been there a while on my bucket list. So let's talk about them. I'll talk about the one that has not been on there that long, and that would be this other Stephen Graham Jones book, which is The Only Good Indians. I've intended to read this since it came out, which was before I was on BookTube, and I just haven't gotten to it. So I'm pretty late to the party on this one. I've been hearing a lot of good things about The Only Good Indians. So yeah, I look forward to reading this one. So yeah, Stephen Graham Jones, The Only Good Indians. I think this one's going to be pretty good. So if you want me to read that sooner rather than later, let me know in the comments down below. Another one that I got a while ago and haven't read yet, and I'm surprised at myself that I have not read this one. And that would be Cicero's Letters to Atticus. Now, I've read a volume of Cicero's letters, and I've read another volume besides that of Cicero. Cicero, very important in the Roman Republic. He did his best to save the Roman Republic, but was unable to do so. Very interesting story, Cicero's story. And he's one of the most well-known people from the ancient world because he wrote so many letters, many of them to his good pal Atticus. Atticus, who had the good sense to stay out of politics. And yeah, he wrote quite a few letters to Atticus, and they are all in this Penguin volume, which is no longer in print. I don't believe this is. So I'm lucky to have it. But should I read this sometime soon? Cicero's Letters to Atticus. It would make a swell Sunday Penguin, but of course I've got to read it first. So there's that. And then there's this book, which I've been intending to read for a while. This is The Second World War by Antony Beevor. The Second World War. Now, this is supposed to be a really good book. And I'm always up for a good history of the Second World War. And this is supposed to be a really good one. Yeah, kind of a big book, but that's okay. It's supposed to be great. So yeah, The Second World War by Antony Beevor. It's been on my list for a little while. I hope to read that sometime in the near future. Now this one here, I just got a physical copy of recently. But I've been meaning to read it. I've been meaning to get it and read it since I heard about it, which was years and years and years ago, which is The Book of the New Sun by Gene Wolfe. I have it in these 2 volumes here, The Book of the New Sun by Gene Wolfe. Finally got a copy of this recently. Justin from This Just In and I went to Dark Carnival Books in Berkeley. And I saw these guys there and picked them right up. And so, yeah, The Book of the New Sun. Now, this is a classic. I'm surprised at myself I haven't read this yet. I hope to read it in the near future, but with all the Stephen King I've got to read and everything else, looking uncertain. So, yeah, I'm hoping to get to that. Another one that I've had hanging out for a long time. I'm surprised I've had this one on my bucket list so long. I think since I've been about 25 or around there. And that would be Tim Powers' The Anubis Gates. This was recommended to me half our lifetimes ago by Justin from This Just In. This is one of his favorite books. the Anubis Gates. I recently found it in my closet from the back room in one of the rooms that's being redone in the construction here at the manor. And I'm like, wow, I still haven't read that book. So yeah, I still haven't read this book. So, The Anubis Gates by Tim Powers. It's supposed to be great, and yet I haven't read it yet. So how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books. Okay, I counted correctly. You never know. Counting, it's difficult. It's a difficult thing to do. And so this next book, I was reminded that I need to read this by a video that I saw by JeremyFee. And JeremyFee is always reminding me of things I need to read, or suggesting things I need to read. And this is Malflanders by Daniel Defoe. I got it from Half Price Books, obviously. And this copy is so old that this won't come off without leaving a big mess. So it's a terrible looking copy. Well, actually, it's kind of a scandalous cover, but it's art. It's okay. But it's a terrible looking copy because of the stupid stickers they put on there. But what do you do? I'm sure it was worth the $4 I paid for it. I just have to get to reading it. It's supposed to be really good, Malflanders, by Daniel Defoe. Now, this next book is by Paul Cartledge. And I've read a few books by Paul Cartledge, but for some reason, not this one. And my recent reading of Herodotus made me think of it. This is Thermopylae by Paul Cartledge. This tells about the battle itself, the Battle of Thermopylae, where Persian Xerxes led a force through a narrow mountain pass called Thermopylae, and he was held off by a very small Spartan force. Paul Cartledge is an expert on the Spartans. I read a book by him called The Spartans, which was an excellent book as well. So I'm looking forward to this one, and I need to get to it. I don't know why it's taken me so long to get to that book. This is another one along those same lines, another ancient Greek history, and that would just be The History of Greece by J.B. Bury. This is a pretty big book, actually. It's over 800 pages. It's pretty compact. It's from the 50s. I think 59 is when this was. This edition, anyway. Yeah, 59. It's the 3rd edition. But it's still way out of date, obviously, if it's from that long ago. But, of course, I've wanted to read it since I picked it up, which was a while ago. I love ancient history, and so this should be fun if I ever get to it. The History of Greece by J.B. Bury. An old, tiny copy. These old history books are really cool. I mean, they used to make these really great old, compact history books that you could actually carry around with you, you know, if you're a student. All these cool illustrations in them. Looks pretty cool, so I'm looking forward to that. And I guess this is number 9. This is Arch of Triumph. This is by the author of All Quiet on the Western Front, Eric Remarque. I've got the title page there since there's not much left of the dust jackets on this one. I got this used and beat up, but it's supposed to be a really good book, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. I have a bit of the dust jacket, what's left of it, and I kept it because look at that great author photo. That's an awesome author photo right there. Look at that guy. He looks serious, which I guess he was, considering the type of books he wrote. But this is supposed to be an excellent novel from what I understand, so I'm hoping to get to it sometime soon. You tell me if I should be reading that one sometime soon. Now, the next one is a gigantic monster, so of course it's the one everybody's going to vote for, just because of your cruelty. But that's okay, I will read it. If you tell me to, heaven knows I waited long enough. It's the only book that makes the stand look tiny. And that would be, I got a 2-volume set here of this book. Great Books of the Western World. This is Gibbons, The Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire. Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire. I've got it in 2 volumes here. And it is gigantic. I read an abridgment, an abridged version from Penguin, I believe it was. But if you look at the pages, look how dense that is. Double columned, extremely extremely dense with small print because this book is enormous. Yeah. So that's why it's been put off for years and years. Even though I want to read it and I should have read it by now. The decline and fall of the Roman Empire is no joke for somebody who has limited reading time as I do. But I'll do it, man. I'll do it if you tell me to. So yeah, you guys vote for one of those. If you vote for one of those, I'll do it. So now it comes to the time to tag other folks. I'm lousy at tagging people, but I am going to tag the Bookish Report. He doesn't do many tags to Bookish Report because he's usually too busy, I don't know, just talking about books and doing awesome vlogs and stuff. But I would be interested in knowing what books he's got hanging out and has meant to read and hasn't done so. So yeah, the Bookish Report. I tag you, Bookish Report. So yeah, episode 200, video number 200, a less spectacular video than my 100th super spectacular, but that's just as well. I did want to take this time though to thank everybody who watches my ridiculous videos. I know they're ridiculous. So yeah, I'm gonna film another video right now after this one. So in my Epic Comic Book Wednesday, I'm going to be wearing the same outfit. I think I'll change my hat, but I'll keep the rest the same because I'm just going to turn this off and start another video because that's the way I do it here at Stately Vaughan Manor. But thank you guys for hanging in there with me and watching my ridiculous videos and subscribing to my channel. I appreciate everybody who subscribes. You know, I never talk about my subscribers or how many subscribers I have because my mother, I mentioned it once or twice early on and my mom's like, you know, in your first video you said you didn't care how many subscribers you have and now you're talking about your subscribers. I think it was better when you just didn't. And I'm like, yeah, you're probably right, darn it. But yeah, I do appreciate everybody who has subscribed. I appreciate you guys very much for supporting me in this ridiculous nonsense by watching. And thank you everybody who loyally comments. I appreciate all of you who do so. So yeah, catch me tomorrow for Epic Comic Book Wednesday. And then later on in the week, I'll be talking about some annotated Sherlock Holmes, where mysteriously I'll be wearing the same outfit, but wearing a different hat. Weird how that's going to work out that way. Okay, guys, you guys have a great day.